Hello and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Zaif. I'm an artist working on my series Orisha, published in Saturday AM, and I'll be crafting some character designs for the key characters for my story. I'll be starting off with the protagonist of the series, Aboki, but first, a brief synopsis of the story. So, the celestial god is killed, and a young village boy, Aboki, unfortunately comes into the possession of the celestial god's power through no means of his own, is now the celestial Orisha. And when the council of Orishas, gods of the African realm, find out about this, many of them aren't too thrilled with that and are in a race to capture Aboki to obtain his powers, each with their own reasons. Aboki will now have to prove himself worthy of being the celestial Orisha, if not this could result in his death. That's just a quick synopsis of the story. And now to jump into his design and character. I've already worked on Aboki the longest, so I'm quite familiar with how I want him to be portrayed. Aboki starts off as clumsy, timid, and shy, kind of reserved character due to his constant teasing from the village because of his skin-like pigmentation, which some villagers believe to be a cause of misfortune. Aboki wishes for nothing more than just to fit in and earn his place among the people. Experiencing what he had, Aboki knows the value of empathy and kindness, which is also part of his character. And as the story goes on, we see Aboki push to break out of his timid self. Characters that would go on to inspire the creation of Aboki are the likes of Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender and Peter Parker Spider-Man. I always loved those characters because even with the strongest powers and abilities, yet they still manage to remain humble. I've adapted the sense of with great power comes great responsibility thing into Aboki, and I just dig that. However, there will come times when Aboki will rage out, of course, but it will be for severe reasons. That's why I made him very empathetic, so that he can when he finally rages out, it will be an impactful moment. Next up, we have Shango. Unlike Aboki, Shango is a major part of the actual mythology of Orishas, which my story takes influences from. In the mythology, Shango is described to be the strongest among all the pantheons of Orishas. With the ability to use lightning, he is unforgiving to his enemies with years of battle experience, and his only soft spot being to his beloved wife and children, which will lead to his tragic end and demise. So I'll be taking influences from that to shape his character and storyline. I also gave him a mask to cover his face to hide all the battle scars he's acquired from all the years of fighting. He is the full contrast to our protagonist, where Aboki is gentle and empathic, while Shango is tough and intimidating. Shango serves as the catalyst to push Aboki and show him not everything could necessarily be solved with peace, and Aboki preaches the opposite. Their dynamic would make them start questioning their own perspectives, which could result in some interesting story beats. Also, to touch a bit upon his power set, he doesn't radiate lightning, but rather he summons it from the sky and he directs the lightning bolts to strike wherever he wishes. Sort of like Thor from the MCU, but without the hammer. Shango comes into the story as the first antagonist, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad guy. I'll leave you here for now and let you discover more about him in the story. And now we move on to Eshu. She's a pretty laid back and chill character. She's nurturing, free spirit, but has a loud and goofy personality whenever she drinks. With the ability to weave and create constructs of weapons or large voodoo dolls, she can become tough and badass in certain situations. After a tragic accident in her past, she isn't involved with the Orishas as much, but she comes in favor of Aboki to aid him and serve as a motherly mentor role in his story. In the mythology, she is married to Shango, but evidently they separated. Their dynamic between her and Shango and Aboki will be explored further in the story. In the very first issue of Orisha that came out in 2019 on Saturday AM's issue 115, she was a whole different character with a whole different name and personality. I wasn't really satisfied with how she was portrayed then, so I reinvented her role in the upcoming stories. Those of you who are fans of my work and saw her, you'll see a better, fresh, new version of her in the upcoming story. So stay tuned for that. And finally, we have Eshu. This character is cheeky, funny, and extremely clever. In the mythology of Orisha, he is a messenger of Olorun, the celestial god, and is known to be a very complex character. And in my story, he serves as quote-unquote Aboki's friend and guide to the world of Orishas, and will go on to help Aboki learn how to use his powers. With the celestial god dead, Eshu claims is one of the Orishas that did it, and he wishes to stay at Aboki's side to stop the Orishas from claiming Aboki's newfound power. But there is of course more to Eshu than meets the eye, which will be explored through the story and the book. Eshu's design is meant to be portrayed as a small voodoo-like creature or spirit. He's still a work in progress, and I'm still playing around with his design for now. His power set is still a mystery and will not be revealed until later on in the story, because that's gonna be a major story arc. Eshu is still an Orisha, but is in a sealed form as of the time we met him. Hence why I added a small chain on his chest and a detail markings around his body. I will leave it here for now, and I do hope you come along with me on this journey to creating my own story. Drop a comment below letting me know which your favorite character design is out of the bunch. And if you wish to know more about the story, do check out my other videos. Furthermore, if you enjoyed the content, please do like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.